CNET live stage at CES and our countdown of the top 10 or so products from CES 2016. I'm Brian Cooley, joined by Ambassador Scott Stein. Ambassador from Techlandia.
Yes.
Nice to have you here,
Just
sir.
landed, thanks. It's good to spend another day here.
We'll have a
going
translator
through.
who can translate our languages to each other, sir.
We need a small creature that can, that's the next CES.
That's what it would be, absolutely. We've been in Vegas for 5 long days, as you can probably tell. And today we reveal our top picks for the best products of the show. This is what won us over, all of us, the 90 editors minus these two, here at CES. After wandering through all these halls, taking so many briefings in strange hotel rooms and out in parking lots and all up and down the halls, we distill it down right here. Scott, we start with drones.
We do. It's a popular topic, and
Yeah.
we actually have 2 on this list. We're going to get to the one, the crazy pick, the one that we.
This is the crazy pick.
Yeah, the crazy.
Let's get it out of the way.
Big weird CES pick, eHang, which was that personal quadcopter that you would actually go inside.
And folks, yeah, personal quadcopter you ride in.
Yes.
It's an aircraft.
Yeah, and it's meant to be sort of a future of aircraft, and this
Yeah.
would have what, like 23-minute battery life. So
That's right.
You be careful where you fly, and this is meant to have safety features in terms of being some automatic piloting.
Yeah, Ashley Esqueda there looking at the inside of the cabin yesterday. It's a single seater. Now,
Yes.
as you pointed out, there's a sort of a very worrisome combination here. A, 23-minute battery life, which is fairly compact, and B, 11,000 foot maximum height.
Yes.
That seems like those two could collide badly, where you get to the top and you don't have enough battery to get back down to the ground.
Yeah, you want an active warning system or a parachute,
Yes.
or the next version.
Right.
Far off. Wait for
Yes.
version 3. It does look like a Blade Runner car though, so I like that.
It also looks like vaporware, if you want my opinion.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah, it's the
I'll
stuff I
call
would.
it. I'll call it. Ain't gonna happen. Not in the U.S. FAA's never approving that thing. But nice try.
Big CES ideas.
Watch, a year from now, it'll be the best-selling private aircraft in the world. And
Yeah,
all of us are an
exactly.
idiot.
Hoverboards, who will buy them?
Right.
So in terms of something you might actually buy, the unique Typhoon H.
H for Hexacopter.
Yeah, so this has got 6 rotors in it, and our drone editor Josh Goldman was saying this is the one that he really liked. It's well designed, it's compact, fit into your backpack. You can attach a camera easily. You can also, it's compatible with Intel RealSense for automatic navigation and piloting.
And to avoid collisions
and
by
avoid
having a really good view of other things, objects and other drones in the area. You know, RealSense is that 3D camera technology from Intel that gives you gives a machine a much better ability to sort of figure out what it's looking at, not that there's an object there and no more detail.
That's a future not just in drones, but in robots, the ability to have these cameras and in cars to scan around you. That technology is becoming very, very real, and it will enable, with artificial intelligence, these things to really navigate very easily on their own, with or without us.
We hear a lot about DJI and Parrot. They seem to get all the headlines around drones, one on the lower end, one on the upper end. But this is an important name to watch. They're a serious, credible maker. They're not some new startup that doesn't have any, any market share. It's one of the big makers out there. Now in the TVs area, and later on today at 4 o'clock Pacific, I'll be up here with David Katzmeyer, our TV guru, and we're going to do a special dive into TVs themselves. But we asked Katz, one TV you got to pick. What's it going to be? And it is the LG G6 OLED TV. Now we have recently, and they've been putting it in all their advertising lately, called the LG OLED that was already on the market, the best TV we've ever seen in picture quality, period. So this is going to be the follow-on product on that. Now of course, this is OLED in early 2016. We're talking pricey stuff, many thousands of dollars still.
Very pricey, and this is OLED that's layered onto a pane of glass.
Yeah.
So you really can't get much thinner than this.
Nope.
And it's an ongoing trend at this show to say OLED is extremely flexible. You put on glass, you're seeing curving ones, rolling ones.
S-curve sets we saw rolled up, we talked about yesterday, like a portable thin film panel, the see-through one.
It's the see-through one.
Yeah.
And you feel like maybe these could sort of just eventually be posters you put on your wall, like the TV, the spray-on TV fantasy.
Okay, that's a great idea.
Right?
Spray on TV. Now,
TV
wait
in
a
a
minute.
can.
That's cool. TV in a can. You get that and a can of Cheese Whiz, perfect weekend.
You could totally do that
That's all you
in
need
17
right
years.
there. Now, larger TVs are always kind of the easy sloppy sell here at CES. Everyone loves to see a TV as big as your car, and we had one here as well, a 170-inch television from Samsung, but it's not one screen. It's a modular set of docked screens that are amazing because you can't see the lines where they dock. Now we have a giant dock screen here in our stage, and if you look carefully, you can see where the modules click together. It's a retail display, but this looks like one TV, but it's several screens put together. That's amazing.
This is basically like the sort of stuff you might see outside more stores or stadiums or
Yeah.
outside our CNET booth in X number of years, or plastering hotels, future of display tech, or if you're extremely wealthy, you just cover your home
and you keep
in
you
TVs.
keep adding to your home, and you've got a bigger and bigger wall. It's like, oh, I'm going to
Yeah.
add some TV real estate. What's interesting about this, though, is that it goes to a sweet spot. If I understand it right, in the TV biz, where making giant TVs is really hard because of what they call yield, panel yield. They basically grow silicon LCD panels, and if they have a little bad spot, that's it. You can't fix it. You have to limit your cut size to a 65 or whatever. Making 170s, the yield's almost impossible. That's why there's so much money. But here, you can take a bunch of easy-to-make, smaller panels. The yields on those are very high, and just click them together. Now they can make giant TVs at, in theory, much lower cost. Not dirt cheap, but this is actually a cost savings, not just a size growth.
You could tile your entire home in televisions.
You can tell your entire floor in television.
Your floor, your ceiling, your bed, everything, your bed, your family.
A VR room, the entire room, floor, ceiling, and all walls is all screen.
That would be cool.
Imagine
Finally
that.
get to Ray Bradbury's, the Velt. You could actually create your holodeck or your fantasy room.
We've got some good ideas up here.
is-
I mean, we think so anyway.
Yeah, we think it's fantastic.
Tell me about wearables. We had the Fitbit Blaze.
Yeah, the wearables kind of had I think, a bit of an off year at this show. And nothing that exciting. It's probably because a lot of smartwatches are in a kind of an in-between period. They're selling, but you're waiting for the next Apple Watch or the next version of Android Wear. A lot of those backed off, but Fitbit, biggest player in wearables, announced a watch. Now, the reaction was mixed, but still, Fitbit is the dominant force here. And what they're showing is that it's fashionable or more fashionable. They're trying to make something you might want to wear all the time and not just have it be a fitness tracker. And it's also a little more like a watch. Now you're seeing smart watches get more fitness. Regular watches try to get fitness from big watch companies, and Fitbit's going in here with a 5-day battery life. So if it's simple and it's something you might want to wear all the time, that's what they're going after for $200.
So by simplifying the function, they were able to lower the horsepower a little and get that long battery life, because there's been no battery breakthrough. This has got to be about pulling down the performance a little.
Pretty flat, yeah.
But doing just what it needs to do.
Exactly, and with a couple of notifications. This has some phone notifications, but by design, they said, not too many. And it's got some coaching. They acquired Fitstar, so there's some coaching workouts. That's something people are talking about. How does that actually work? Does it feel comfortable? We haven't used it yet. Sometimes it's, like the Microsoft band just tells you to do push-ups now. Now do this, and it's like someone just yelling at me on my wrist.
A really dumb drill sergeant. I'm
Yes.
on the bus.
Just buzzing and saying,
not gonna
do
work
this.
right now.
You want something that there are ones that will see how you move. So I hope that it's a little more intelligent
Okay.
in terms of the way it
Okay,
guides
and not
you.
trying too hard though. And another interesting wearable, we don't know where else to put it, so we'll call it a wearable, are the Here, active listening earbuds. Our Eric Franklin was really into these. These are smart, adaptive, audio contouring earbuds. Now we all know about noise reduction headphones. Most of us have them as we fly and all that. First of all, these are very tiny, obviously cordless and wireless. Inside is powerful DSP and micro amplifiers that can make changes to the incoming sound coming into your ears to do either noise reduction or selective noise reduction. They can say, I'll take out jet engine hum. I'll also take out voice. I can learn and take out crying baby. I can take out the sound of a bus when you're on it, versus just having one single noise reduction slice all the time, which is pretty dumb at this point in history.
It is. I got to try these, and they were really cool. And I think these are like the future tech of what you will bring to CES.
Yeah.
2017 and onwards, something to block out the noise. Maybe you build these into headphones, and you start having something a little, like you said, a little smarter than the noise canceling that you have, something like an equalizer or smart equalizer for that.
And adaptive and constantly learns, and not some graphic EQ where you're sliding up sliders all the time, because we don't know what to do with that. The DSP should figure that out. Now, they're doing 10,000 beta users before they then open up to another tranche of something closer to production,
Yes.
which I believe you're on the list for.
That would be nice.
You and Franklin.
And get to play around with, also how you hear things and hearables. People are talking about hearables here at the show.
Yeah.
The movie Her was a couple of years ago, but people are still talking about that. Maybe the ear is the place to go, not just for noise canceling and that, but for audio cues, maybe for smarter notifications. Because again, how many times you want your wrist to buzz? So it's something to track.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, here we are. Every broadcaster in the world, we're still wearing. We got these things in our ears that go down to, where's mine? Here we go. They go down a wire to a totally annoying and heavy pack like this. Is called an IFB. Everybody who's on the air wears an IFB. It's an interactive feedback or foldback cue, so people in the booth can talk to us. This is 1970s technology. Heavy, clunky, disastrous. I just want that little thing we just saw. Everything wireless, put it in the ear, and all this dreck goes away. I mean, so it's got vertical applications perhaps, as well as for the average consumer. Now let's talk about PCs. The Lenovo ThinkPad Yoga line has been extremely popular the last couple of years. It's one of the hottest right after all the MacBooks. Now we have one with an OLED screen.
Yeah, and this is something, again, OLED. We're hearing this everywhere, but OLED in a laptop, I know it sounds like a buzzword. Dan Ackerman, our PC editor, was really excited about this. It just looks better.
Yeah.
It's really crisp. It could even potentially help down the road with design, power management, who knows what. But right now, you're talking about putting this in the already very popular design of the Yoga. It's a ThinkPad, so it's a little more business design. It's super crisp. It just, again, what can you do in a laptop that's interesting? There's still room to improve the screens.
Yeah, I mean, you can just tell even though we're showing it here, on a non-OLED screen, and you're watching it at home on a non-OLED screen, you can almost tell how good it is. Especially here's an AB, I think, with an LCD and an OLED. And like you say, thinner, lower power consumption. OLED has some native advantages that laptops like to have in them. And then this is the one that you introduced me to that I'm totally excited by. If there's anything on this list that I want to buy, it's this one, the Razer Blade Stealth. Gaming laptop, but also ultra portable, depending where you take it.
Well, it's a 12-inch laptop, and so it kind of feels like a super portable.
Yeah.
And then you plug this into its own graphics tower. And this works via USB-C, the sort of thing that we were talking about with possibility in Thunderbolt a while ago. That's Sean Hollister at CNET trying it out. And people don't want to carry a big laptop around, but you still want to play games.
So there's the thing you dock it to, the giant graphics engine that you have when you need it.
When you need it, when you want to play games. There's still games you could play without it.
Yeah.
But it looks big, but that's the whole idea. It's meant to be a serious gaming PC.
Right.
But that you don't have to take all of that around with you. And Razer has a lot of crazy pie-in-the-sky concepts, but their PC business has created some great stuff, great laptops. So yeah, I'm really
like
looking
this
forward
idea
to this.
because anything that's good at
Looks
gaming is also good at doing video editing and video rendering and that sort of thing, more or less. So assuming you can get one of this with a pretty good processor and pretty good SSD storage, and then dock it when you need to go do heavy horsepower gaming or video work, which is a very common model in lots of people's lives. They want to have a lightweight for traveling, and then when they get back to their desk, they got to work on a video. This is a really cool idea.
And I think how small can you go will be where you go from here, because we're already seeing the ideas of like Microsoft and Continuum. A phone becomes your computer wirelessly, but we're going to start seeing the trend will be super small computers you take home, very easily connect at home. Maybe it's a hub, maybe it's not. But
it's another way of putting the power, the horsepower, somewhere else where you actually need it. So the cloud is one form of offshoring horsepower. This is another way of interpreting the concept of offshoring horsepower, so it's there when you need it, but not cumbersome.
Right. Like docks you just assume you keep on your desk, and that won't be annoying, hopefully.
Yeah, very cool. Let's go to smart home now. In the appliances smart home category, I think we were all pretty unanimous that Samsung may have cracked the code on one of the toughest products to make, which is the smart refrigerator. Not making one isn't hard, but making one that makes any sense has been hard. For like a decade and a half, the industry's kept trying. This one kind of worked out pretty well. 21.5-inch screen on the door, giant screen. But it doesn't try to really be an all-encompassing computer, which never made any sense. It has some logical ideas, like being able to mirror content that you're playing somewhere else in the home, have it mirrored onto either audio or video onto the fridge, so it follows you around that way. Messaging and photo sharing, I'm not quite as cogent on that. Cameras, like you see right there inside the fridge, will take photos of all of its contents every time you open and close the doors, so you constantly have a latest snapshot. So when you're at the store and you're not sure if you need carrots or not, just log into the fridge and look and see if there's any in the crisper. You know, buying a second bag that way. Because I don't really like carrots a whole lot. But
No.
sometimes you need them, so I want to buy as few as I have to.
That's the thing, is you get the dream of the carrot, and you, that's what they should,
It's a
dream of the
carrot
carrot
management
comes alive.
platform. It's a CMP, really.
Yeah. I like the cameras in the fridge.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy. I like it looking in the back of the fridge. I want to see. I want to see what's
Oh,
in
yeah,
there.
right. You were concerned about this.
Yeah, that's my dream, is to know what's in the back of
I've
my
learned
fridge.
so much about your home just sitting here with you 3,000
Oh, yeah.
3,000 miles from it.
What's in the back
The
of
back
everything?
of your fridge. It's where things go to
Yeah,
die.
it is.
Right?
Oh, there's some stuff there.
Like mine, no different.
There's some strange bags, the mystery bags. I want the fridge
Yeah.
to help me out, be a better person. I don't know about the front part of it, you know, the screen and the ordering and everything else, but everybody's been excited about this. Everyone at CNET's been excited about it.
That was the other
And
part, was
it
the,
caught our attention.
groceries by MasterCard was the other thing in the screen, where you can shop right there as you look in the door and say, we're out of that. Close the door and go buy it for delivery. It's for grocery delivery service, and MasterCard's powering it. It's a trial in New York City. So the idea here is what they call contextual commerce. You can do anything on a phone, obviously, and that's been the big trend lately, is just buy it on your phone while you're right there. But sometimes it makes sense to build the commerce into the device or location where it first occurs to you, like buying groceries at your fridge door, like paying for gasoline from your car key fob, things of this nature. And so all of a sudden, I think we're kind of splitting away from doing everything on the phone, not leaving that, but saying sometimes it makes sense to have commerce embedded in the place where it occurs. This is like Amazon's button they released a year or so ago, where you could mount it by your dishwasher, hit it to order more laundry detergent. Same basic idea.
I want like machine learning, where this is going to tell me what other people have in their fridge, like the average, and tell you, you know, you're not ordering the healthy foods, or, you know, this is what Kanye has, you know, in his
Oh yes,
crisper.
you can kind of have, you know, Cribs refrigerator edition.
Right.
You
Do
can
you
go-
want to order food like Peyton Manning? Just do that. Create the pro health set, like a profile, and have it outfitted.
That's kind of like a Pandora thing. That's kind of weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. All right, let's go to cars now. Cars and car technology. I think the CNET car team, I think, has pretty much agreed the Chevy Bolt, not the Volt, Bolt with a B, was the belle of the ball. Not audacious, but a real car that's doing really good things. Pure electric, unlike the Volt, which is, of course, a range extender hybrid. So pure battery electric, 200 miles of range, $30,000 after federal tax credits, as long as they keep offering those, which is a big question mark down the road. Flat floor, because the battery is a flat pan, so there is no transmission hump, front or back, so you can slide back or forth across this. Tim Stevens made an interesting point about that. He goes, GM just invested heavily in lift, and they have a car here that's easy to enter and exit from either side. Makes it great for picking people up and dropping them off.
Oh.
In case you pick them up on the right side of the street and drop them off on the left, you know, classic New York City, well, you want to be left or right. There's no hump to kind of clamber over to get to the other door. It's a small thing, but it's a nice, livable, everyday detail. So we're going to see more about the Bolt as well at the Detroit Auto Show next week, but this is about what we know about it. It's a pre-production sample, and those ugly headlights you see are not going to be in the final car, I'm happy to report. Now, VR and AR, what did you love in this space?
Again, at this show, it was kind of a whole bunch of stuff, a lot of announcements, especially in VR, as you heard, Oculus Rift. AR is around. It's hanging in there. It's going to enterprise. And they're looking to smart glasses
now,
and
yeah.
trying to explore that. I think they know that for the average person right now, even getting people interested in virtual reality is going to be more of a challenge, no matter how great it looks,
Than we thought.
than anybody thinks.
yeah.
So going to AR for a moment, Intel announced this Daiquiri smart helmet, which looks like it's not meant for the average person.
No,
but it's
meant for an industrial application up front.
industrial, yeah.
It's got a visor that gives you a vision of what you see, and it's got real sense cameras that look forward to see what you're seeing and interpret it.
And that's, again, the use of the RealSense camera to create something also for now, because Microsoft HoloLens, also intended for enterprise, it still isn't going to be here yet. This is going to come before the end of March, according to Intel. And it's designed, again, for an industrial-grade design and environments. That's something that other companies like Epson and those who have made these helmets are trying to keep an eye on. It's not necessarily going to look cool, but you got to use it on a site, a place where you can't use your hands. So, yeah, this could be big for people who need to use that.
I was taking a tour of the entire executive team of one of the largest industrial products companies in the world around the floor yesterday, and they said, yeah, this is the real deal. We've been talking to them before CES, and we're very interested in deploying this across what may be the largest fleet of engineering and industrial technicians in the world. So there's something interesting about that.
There is.
There are really some legs.
When it comes to virtual reality, you've heard about the Oculus Rift. Now they announced, I think you heard a bit about them.
For years.
And now it's going to be shipping. They're the $600 price, which everybody was going all over the place about. Truthfully, that's not the whole price of the system in the first place. You have to buy the PC, which has a certain level of gaming graphics that even serious PC gamers don't have.
Okay.
So the total price could be up around $1,500. But there's that's not the only virtual reality platform out there. PlayStation VR that's coming.
Right.
And actually, I think the best experience at the show was HTC Vive. And we've seen that was a collaboration between HTC and Valve. They've been showing off their stuff since last year. They have a new version of the hardware that they had at the show, improved visual quality. They said it's mirror correction, so it looks crisper, but it's that camera. That camera now can see what's going on around you. And it activates when you go to the edge of the room. There's a room-filling VR that uses light sensors and laser arrays, and these motion controllers. And when you go to the edge of that room, it'll show you what's in it. It'll show you furniture, people, not the actual video stream, but
Right.
kind of a Batman vision.
But it'll re-render it and bring it into VR.
Exactly. They say they're doing that to reduce lag. So that's me wandering around seeing that.
But that is a unique approach. The other guys don't do that camera import, do they?
Not at all, and they need to. I think that's going to be what we see next. Probably not that far off,
Yeah.
because you look at, again, Intel RealSense cameras and these types of things. These cameras are out there, and Project Tango, Google has, so I think it's only a matter of time and a short period of time before a lot of these VR headsets put those in. Could also help you scan the room and not have to put a sensor up next to your TV. So it becomes more self-contained.
It'll use an outlooking way of seeing the room and sensing what's around you, as opposed to a sensor in,
Exactly.
like these guys, which is a little horsey right now.
Yeah, looking out, also incorporating the room, maybe developing something that feels like augmented reality as well.
Yeah, it starts to blur the line between the two.
Oh yeah, they're all going to blend, and they
Yeah.
want to get these things down to glasses size. So again, even the stuff that you see this year, you may see new versions next year.
And
it's
this could be
definitely
great.
not finished.
This could be great for HTC because, like you say, it's looking like a really bona fide breakout product. And because let's face it, if you're not Samsung or Apple, you may not be long for this world in mobile phones. It's winnowing down. We're into our third year now where all of the profit in smartphones is going to two companies. I think this will be our third calendar year. You can't do that forever. So HTC and many other makers that did really well in smartphones for a while, they need to find their next hit. Where they really can establish something strong, and this might be their strategy for them.
I think so. It's expensive, but you're going to see a long race here. It's a marathon for content, and everybody just wants to try this out and keep going. So I bet it's all going to start to blend.
Yeah, very interesting sector there. Okay, so there you've got it. Those are our 10 or so best products here from CES 2016, total of 12 if you really want to count them. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for all of us here at CNET, myself and Ambassador Stein. We're the global leader here at CNET and Technology News, and look forward to seeing you again here at CES 2017. But don't leave, there's a lot more going on here today at the CNET stage here at CES 2016 in Las Vegas. Thanks, everyone.